Hello folklore founders, we're here in the beautiful village of Hallaton in Leicestershire, famous for two things. One, the hoard of treasure that was found here, uncovered a few years back. And the second is its Easter Monday tradition of bottle kicking. Now, to discover more about that, we've got to go in search of the folklore found. Let's go. Every Easter Monday, for as long as people can remember and even longer, here in Hallaton, a strange tradition is carried out. One of many strange traditions that happen across the land on certain days of the year. England is full of these traditions. You've got cheese rolling, you've got bog snorkeling, and in Hallaton you've got bottle kicking. Now, the history of bottle kicking, the rules are quite simple. There are three bottles, they are little barrels full of beer. The first one is thrown into the crowd, and it's a competition between Hallaton and Medbourne. Happens in the field just outside Hallaton, and the idea is you have to get your barrel, your bottle, over to your space, whether it be over the brook for Hallaton or over the hedge for Medbourne, any way you can. All things are on the table, no holds barred. Kicking, biting, scratching, you name it. It's the best out of three, and the winners, when whoever scores the winner, they have to stand on top of here as best they can in the centre of Hallaton and drink the beer in the bottle. Now, that's what happens nowadays, but what is the history? What is the folklore behind this? There must be a story, and it's got to be here somewhere.
Call a better word.
Whoa! Hold on, stop the video right there. Did you know that 96% of you watching this video are not subscribed to my channel? Lots of you don't even like my videos. That makes me sad. Not emotional blackmail at all, but if you click the like and subscribe and even the notification bell, that would be legendary. Thank you, folklore founders. Now on with the video.
What would deem it right?
So one thing you notice when you walk around Hallaton is there's occasionally a hare or two on the top of a building, or a dog in the back of a garden, or a dog in the window that you'll have seen. There seems to be a strange affiliation with hares in this village. Not only do they distribute a keg of beer at the start of their bottle kicking tournament, but just before that they distribute hare pie, and it's a free-for-all. The villagers are all able to come and get as much free hare pie as possible, and this is distributed by the church after it's been blessed. But why hare pie, and what's the affiliation with hare here in Hallaton? Well, that, my dear folklore founders, is all down to this story. The story I have found here in Hallaton.
I've reflected light.
So, what is it with Hallaton and hares? Well, the story I found out today, all thanks to the wonderful people at the Hallaton Museum. If you get a chance to come to Hallaton, drop into the museum. They've got some great displays there. But they put me onto this story. You'll find out more about bottle kicking there and St. Morel connected to the village, and the village is passed right back to Roman times. But this story, it starts with two aged ladies, and they're off out over the fields walking when they enter a field with a bull. Now this bull is a particularly nasty bull, and these ladies may or may not have been wearing red. Whatever happened, the bull began to charge at them, and they ran as fast as their little old legs could carry them towards the exit of the field. They thought they were doomed for sure, when all of a sudden, out to the middle of the field, from their scratch, came a couple of hares. The hares bolted in front of the bull. The bull was so distracted that it stopped its charge, giving the old ladies enough time to get out the field. The two aged ladies escaped from the bull, and thanks to the hares, they were in one piece, and so they went to the local vicar, for they thought this was a gift from God, these hares coming and saving them. And they said to the local vicar that as a thank you to God for saving them from certain death from this bull, they promised him the rent of a furlong of land they owned in the village. Now, in return, they said that once a year the church would supply the village with a very large hare pie as celebration and some bottles of beer. And it was to feed the whole village. And so it has been every year. A hare pie has been cooked, it's been blessed in this church behind me, and it's been distributed in a free-for-all to the people of Hallaton. Then over time, the bottle kicking started. You would start off with just Hallaton, and it would be a free-for-all, a bit of a scrum for the hare pie and for the bottles of beer. Then at a later date, more modern date, in the 1700s, Medbourne came into play and they joined in, and so it got bigger and bigger and bigger. So there we have it, bringing it right up to date, the connection with hares. The bottle kicking itself is held in the fields at Hare Pie Bank, so called because of the pie that's distributed at the start of the celebrations. 1796 was the first recording of the modern version of bottle kicking, more than likely going on long before then. You can find out so much more in the history of bottle kicking and the Hoard, Hallaton Hoard, here at the Hallaton Museum. It's a lovely little museum and they're updating it all the time, well worth a visit. I'm going to finish my video there, and I shall see you next time for more folklore found.